I never touched a gun. I just made the money disappear. Until the day I made myself disappear too. The notebook is small, blue cover, the kind kids use in school. But this one has names in it, and next to every name, a number, millions of dollars. And next to some of those numbers, a small red dot. A red dot means that person is gone. I am sitting in a gas station bathroom in a city I have never been to before. My hands are shaking. I just drew a red dot next to my own name. Not because someone told me to, because I did it to myself. To understand why, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. Back to when the notebook was empty. Back to when I was just a boy who was really, really good at math. I grew up in a small town in Mexico where everyone knew what the cartel was, but nobody talked about it out loud. It was like the weather, always there, sometimes dangerous, but just normal. My mother cleaned houses, my father fixed cars. We were not rich, we were not starving, we were just regular. But I was different in one way. Numbers made sense to me in a way nothing else did. My teacher said I had a gift. She meant it as a compliment, but gifts sometimes attract the wrong attention. By the time I was 14, I could do in my head what most adults needed a calculator for. That is the thing about being good at something. Somebody always finds out. His name was Don Paco. He was not tall. He was not scary looking. He wore clean shirts and smelled like soap. He came to my school one afternoon and sat with my father outside our house, and they drank coffee and talked quietly. After Don Paco left, my father said, "He wants to give you a job, a real job, with numbers." I was 16. Don Paco was the cartel's money man, not a fighter, an organizer. He handled the business side, and now he wanted me to learn from him. My mother cried a little, but she also looked at the envelope Don Paco had left on the table. Inside, more money than my father made in 6 months. So I started. Don Paco taught me everything. How money moves. How to break one big payment into 50 small ones so nobody notices. How to buy a restaurant or a car wash and use it to mix dirty money with clean money until you cannot tell the difference. This is called laundering, like washing clothes, but you are washing cash. I learned fast. Within 2 years, I was not just learning. I was running the books. The cartel had 47 businesses, fake ones and real ones mixed together. I managed all of them. I knew every peso that came in and every peso that went out. I knew which police captain was on the payroll. I knew which judge. I knew which politician. I was 19 years old, and I knew things that could destroy 100 powerful people. And I thought I was safe because of it, because if I knew too much, they would never hurt me. That was the biggest lie I ever told myself. The first crack came small. A man named Rodrigo, one of the drivers, disappeared. Don Paco told me Rodrigo had moved on, but I did payroll. I knew Rodrigo had a daughter in school, a wife with a sick mother. Men like that do not just move on. I checked the books. 3 days before Rodrigo disappeared, someone had authorized a payment of $8,000 to a name I didn't recognize, a name that appeared once and never again. Ghost payments like that meant one thing: a cleaner, someone hired to make a problem go away. Rodrigo was the problem. The second crack was bigger. I found a second set of numbers hidden inside the accounts for a construction company we owned. Someone, not Don Paco, someone above Don Paco, was skimming money from the cartel itself, taking a little here, a little there, hundreds of thousands of dollars over 2 years. I was not supposed to find it, but I did, because I was the best. The third crack broke everything. Don Paco called me into his office one night. He closed the door. He looked tired in a way I had never seen before. He said, "They think it's you. The missing money. They think you took it." I said, "I didn't." He said, "I know." Then he said, "It doesn't matter." That sentence, those 3 words, that was the moment I understood what I had always been. Not an employee, not a protected asset, not a person with value. I was a number in someone else's notebook, and someone had just drawn a red dot next to it. I had 72 hours, maybe less. I knew this because I had helped plan disappearances before, not directly. I just saw the payments. But I knew the timeline. The decision comes down, then the order, then the cleaner, then nothing. Don Paco slipped me a phone number, written on a torn piece of paper. He said nothing else. He did not look at me when I left. That was his goodbye. 3 hours later, I heard he had a heart attack, except Don Paco was 51 years old and ran 5 kilometers every morning. Don Paco did not have a heart attack. I stopped sleeping. I stopped going home. I moved every night, a different cousin's house, a different town. I wore different clothes. I paid cash for everything. I also started copying files. Everything I knew. Every number. Every name. Every account. Every ghost payment. Every police officer. Every judge. Every politician. Thousands of pages. I put them on a drive the size of my thumb. And then I made the only move I had left. There is a program. A real one. Run by the U.S. government. It is called the Witness Protection Program, or for cases like mine, a special financial crimes version of it. You give them everything, every name, every account, every secret. And in return, they give you a new life. New name, new city, new documents, a small apartment somewhere flat and cold where nobody knows you. You disappear, but on purpose, safely. An agent contacted me through the number Don Paco had given me. She was serious and small, and spoke Spanish without an accent. She said, "If what you have is real, we can protect you. Just 3. She made a phone call. Then she looked at me differently. She said, "When can you be ready?" I thought, this is it. This is the door out. I said, "Give me 1 week." And for 6 days, I actually believed it would work. On the 7th day, I found out my younger sister had been picked up. Just held. Not hurt. Just held. As a message. The message was simple. Give us the drive. Come back. We forget everything. The agent said, "We can protect her too. Both of you. We do this all the time." And she probably believed that. She was not lying. But I had spent 6 years keeping the books for people who also said they would protect the ones they cared about. I had seen what their protection actually looked like. The drive had 312 names on it. Judges, politicians, law enforcement, on both sides of the border. You cannot protect someone from 312 people who want them gone. I sent the drive to 4 journalists. Different countries, different languages, instructions to release everything in 30 days unless I sent a specific code to stop it. Then I got my sister out through people I trusted. Old, quiet people who owed Don Paco favors and transferred that debt to me. Then I ran, not to protection, just away. Here is the thing about being the accountant. You never get to stop counting the cost. I know exactly what I did. I know exactly who I gave up. I know exactly what that drive will do when it goes public. I know which families will lose someone. I know which deals will collapse. I know which wars will start. I know all of it, because I wrote it all down. That is the weight of being the man who kept the numbers. The numbers don't stop just because you run. I am in a different city every 3 weeks. My sister is safe. For now. My real name does not exist anymore. And every morning I wake up and I open a new notebook. Not to count money. To count days. Still counting. This was a fictional story. But the world it describes is real. Cartel accountants, called contadores, are among the most valuable and most endangered people in organized crime. When they flip, and some do, the intelligence they carry can dismantle entire financial networks. Real cases like this have involved the Sinaloa Cartel, the CJNG, and laundering operations across 4 continents. The detail about money laundering through restaurants and car washes, that is exactly how it works in real federal indictments. Here's my question for you. The moment that hit hardest, was it when Don Paco said, "I know. It doesn't matter"? Or was it the drive going to 4 journalists instead of the FBI? Tell me below. If you want more stories told from inside worlds most people never see. Subscribe. New story dropping soon.